Hello everybody, I am going to talk about activity 5.3.2, which is the physical growth and development activity for child development psychology semester 1. For this assignment, what it's asking you to do is to pick an age group and plan one activity that would help the child grow physically with their physical growth that would be going on in that age group. And then it also wants you to explain why you picked that activity and how it would help with the proper growth. It gives you an example starter. So it says blank activity will help a child's development. It would help because, so it's nice that you can just use those couple sentences to get you started for this activity. And then to get exceeds expectation for your grade, you need to write at least 5 or more sentences and explain why you chose what you did. So a couple of things, this comes directly from the lesson before this assignment. And as you can see, it talks about gross motor skills. And it starts at age 6 and goes to age 12. And it just kind of talks about some of those gross motor skills of things that they're able to do at the certain age. So you can see at age 7, they should be able to balance on one foot with their eyes closed. Should be able to walk on a balance beam without falling off. Should be able to hop and jump accurately into a small square like hopscotch, and they can do a jumping jack. Then if you go over to age 10, you can see that they can intercept directions of small balls, throw in from a distance, and that they can run a certain speed. And then you can see at 12 years old, they should be able to jump, can achieve a high jump of 3 feet. And so that just kind of shows you some of the physical growth, some of those motor skills that are being developed as the child ages. Another thing that comes from the lesson before this is looking at activities that promote that growth, promote that physical growth. And we have fine motor skills and we have gross motor skills. Fine motor skills are those small muscles, gross motor skills are those bigger ones. So you can see with fine motor skills, like puzzles, Play-Doh, blocks, coloring, drawing, zippers, pages, turning the pages, those lace cards, stickers, threading beads, all of those things help with that physical growth, help with those fine motor skills. Then gross motor skills, they have like just outdoor play, playground play, sports, throwing and catching, walking like different animals, dancing, running, climbing, like an obstacle course, those sorts of things. So you can see how those are different. Fine motor skills, really just focusing on those small muscles, gross motor skills, focusing on those large ones. So as we think about how are we going to answer this question, we need to think about what type of activities would be good for that physical growth. And this is a perfect list of activities to kind of help you with that. And then you need to think about, out of these activities, what age groups are they good for? And so the example that I have came up with is I take that sentence starter and I say coloring is an activity that will help with the child's development. And we're specifically talking about physical development. And so we need to be thinking about those muscles, those fine or gross motor skills as we explain this activity. And so then I go in and I say it will help because it helps develop a child's fine motor skills. So I'm explaining exactly that this is specifically what's going to help with is those fine motor skills. Then I define what fine motor skills are, and it's how the small muscles work together. Coloring helps a child develop their fine motor skills in their fingers and hands, and then specifically talking about what physical growth is it going to help. And then I talk about how does coloring help their fingers work together. And I talk about that they have to work together so that they can color. As their muscles get stronger, they're able to color better and color inside the lines. So I'm explaining as we see those muscles grow, what are we going to see with their product? And then I explain why I chose this activity, because it's an activity the kids like to do, and it is also very beneficial to the child. I could also even add what age group this would be good for. So I could add coloring is an activity that will help with the child's development. Coloring is something that they start with pretty early on, age 2, and go on throughout elementary school and keep developing those fine motor skills. I could add that in as well. But you can see I have those 5 sentences. I explain why, I explain the specifics to it, so that I'm showing that I understand how this activity relates to that physical growth. I hope this helps, and thank you very much.